Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me real quick on this Slice of Healthcare podcast update. I'm back with Darius Monsef, the co-founder and CEO at Brave Care, fresh off their 25 million raise. Darius, how are you?
I'm doing a lot better, obviously, but it's good to reconnect.
Yeah, I'm excited for us to chat. I wanted to have you on as soon as I heard the announcement. I know we had you on not too long ago, but things change real quickly, right? And you
Yep.
obviously have had a ton of progress since then. I'd love if you could tell us a little bit about kind of the excitement around the team, about this round that you recently closed, and who was involved, as well as really what some of the use of proceeds will go towards.
Yeah, we live in this COVID world, so it was either days or months ago that we last chatted, but I think we might have actually even closed our Series A and then closed the Series B. So the A was back in April, so not even all that long ago. Um, but all of this, both the A and the B, we're doubling down on a vision we have. Our mission is to help every kid reach their full potential. And for us, that's by building the physical care places for kids, as well as building all the software to power the in-clinic and at-home experiences. And post A, we'd started doing sort of this national expansion rollout. We opened another clinic in Portland. We have a clinic in Austin, and then we acquired a clinic in North Carolina. So beginning sort of the national rollout. And earlier this summer, we were able to get in touch with the folks at Mednax who'd reached out as they, have spent 40 plus years helping kids in the most severe care situations. They also have a large obstetrics business and helping bring thousands of kids into the world. And I think are looking to extend that relationship where very few people really know that brand because they're the folks sort of operating these NICUs and PICUs, but it's not really a consumer facing brand and people didn't kind of have a relationship. And so they started acquiring some urgent care groups and we're looking to build kind of really great relationship with people, had seen what we were doing and like the clinics we were building, able to show them our flagship clinic in Portland. And the end result is like, man, hundreds more of these need to exist in the country, something that we were actively working on our own. But obviously it's expensive building out physical clinic locations, building all the software to run those. So there's this really nice opportunity with the legacy and expertise and they have and kind of the forward-looking lens of Brave Care and the technology to power them to be able to partner up and over the next several years open 100 plus clinics around the country, extending that model of care that we care a lot about, but doing it in partnership with somebody who's very mission aligned with what we're working on. So a Series B was a $25 million round led by them with a $20 million investment. I think MD is their ticker symbol, which is a classic, great ticker symbol to get. And then Series A, which you closed out earlier this year, continued in support from impact investors, and City Light led that round and had joined our board. And now Dr. Jim Swift from Mednax is also joining the board.
So I think one of the most interesting spaces and the spaces that like this corporate VC structure makes the most sense is healthcare, right? Because these organizations, I think some of them also love the fact that you're a startup, that you maybe can innovate at a faster pace than they can, which is why they wanted to, partly why they wanted to invest in you, right? Can you talk us through though how I think there's a lot of other healthcare entrepreneurs that love your story and what you're building. I think they would be very interested if you could give us kind of a 2-minute highlight on maybe how they can go about approaching some of these corporate VCs that make sense, or is Mednax more about they came to you in that situation?
Yeah, I wish I had good advice on that because Mednax had actually come to us. I think the most important thing you want is a partner who actively wants the thing in your space. I've gone through a couple acquisitions as well. And so maybe the acquisitions are similar to a strategic partnership like this, where when you want it, you don't always get the best opportunities. You're like trying to convince somebody of the value and maybe they kind of see it, but in the back of their mind, they're going, yeah, but this is what we really want it for. It just doesn't really create a great partnership. In this case, Mednax had come to us to say, we think we love what you do. We'd like to learn more. And then at the end is like, now this really is what we want. This seems great. So kind of just getting started in the partnership, but this obviously took months to get going. We spent a lot of time with them and their team, them with us. Again, at the end of the day, the people who work there are completely mission aligned with taking care of kids. So, we in Brave Care, we use the Women's World Cup team analogy a lot to talk about our culture and how we're, the camaraderie and the partnership, but also a pursuit of like an ultimate goal. Like, at the end of the day, we're trying to build a company that is successful. And so use these analogies around venture capital being kind of like our season sponsors. Like we had this, Series A, we got these great sponsors, and it only buys us so much time. And we really have to achieve our objective. If we don't make the playoffs, we don't win the championship, we don't get the next round, the next sponsorship to the team. Sometimes with a sponsorship, you're taking a brand that's not really aligned with you, but it's the one who showed up and is willing to give you money. And I, as a CEO, I got to dance around and this spin and sales pitch around, oh, but really this partnership is good. In this case, I don't have to spin. The mission of their company does exactly what we do, just like higher acuity on the care spectrum, but we get a chance to provide kind of the forward-looking digital lens of this is how the experience should be built from, user experience isn't just software for us. Obviously, it manifests a lot in that way. But it's, why we have a mural that's unique to every single clinic by a local artist. It's so that we can connect with that community. And when somebody walks in, it feels like, oh, you know a little bit about me. It's one of 100 things where somebody goes, oh, I think you know a little bit about me. That's the relationship we're really trying to have that establishes that trust and the comfort so that we can deliver great care. So finding a partner who's inbound, I think always creates a stronger partnership than if you go out looking for it.
Did Mednax come to you as you were finishing up the Series A, or was this after the Series A was closed?
It was about 2 months after. So like basically we're well funded, working on our expansion, kicking things off. And then it happened that they showed up.
I mean, things are working. So the more capital that you can get, it's just going to allow you to open up some more clinics even faster, right?
Yeah. One of the things that really was beneficial to us is it's still incredibly hard to model businesses, especially brick and mortar ones. Like we came out of last winter cranking, the busiest months we've ever had. Like, oh, maybe we're beyond, maybe we figured COVID out, or maybe we have the model figured out now. And we're a seasonal business, the winter peak flu and other illness, we're normally going to spike. But we had rode through that even in March. And then right after we really raised our Series A, the numbers took a big hit. It's this kind of Delta's coming back, third wave, whatever wave we're in now. And it really impacted the business. And so it was like, oh, we haven't figured this thing out. And post Series A, we're launching all rockets. We're opening more clinics. We're dumping a ton of capital into physical build outs. And then there's a little bit of like, ooh, if this summer continues to be bad and all the clinics get delayed because of every pipeline shortage that's impacting our builds, it was going to get dark for us at the end of this year. Fortunately, the other part of the third wave, we're doing a massive amount of COVID testing these days. So our clinics are 3 times busier than they've ever been. But that right around when Mednax actually come to us, June was a dark month as a founder. I mean, the full roller coaster, raise Series A. Oh my God, no, this is bad. Back to like where we are now. So in 6 months, I've gone to every place a founder goes mentally. But very fortunate to be in a good spot where we are now.
What's next now? So I know you've mentioned expansion. Are you currently hiring for any roles you want to quickly shout out to people listening as well?
Yeah, we're sort of a hiring push across the company. We build all the software that operates our clinic. So continued strength in product engineer, people that have had legacy healthcare experience is obviously useful. We're trying to sort of reinvent and move forward. But when you understand where all the booby traps are, it's very helpful for us. So on the product engineering side, all across the clinical side, we're close to it. We'll be at 100 people across the company by the end of this year, and then would hire another 100 next year, just to continue fueling growth. So kind of across the front there, and hopefully we're providing a really excellent place for people to work, focused on helping every kid reach their full potential, which I feel like is a noble way to spend one's time.
Absolutely. Well, I just wanted to keep this, by the way, short and sweet, under 10 minutes, which we have, just to give the audience a quick look into basically some founder insights, some of the things that are obviously going through your mind after you close this round. And congrats on the partner that you have in Mednax, and that they were able to be involved in on the continuous growth of the company.
Awesome. Appreciate you having me. It's always good to connect.